this is a bit of a different video compared to normal, and that's likely going to be common going forward, and that's what I wanted to talk about. By the way, this footage is really fast-paced, so don't be afraid to click away or tab out if it bugs you. I recorded way too much footage, and this was as short as I can make the time-lapse without cutting out footage or making it, unbearable to watch. I won't be recording time-lapses this long in the future, and if I do, I won't speed them up as much. But I wasn't anticipating this to be 7 minutes long even after speeding it up by 100 times, and I hope the commentary helps make up for it. Anyways, I just wanted to talk briefly about my plans for the channel and other things I have going on. Nothing's changing, but I'm going to be experimenting with the content on my channel going forward. I wanted to do more talkie videos sort of like this, alongside my animations. Trying to make other kinds of content is something I wanted to do for quite a while, since I'm a yapper at heart and I love talking, but it's never been something I'm very good at. I struggle with putting my thoughts into words and also just with talking out loud, if it weren't obvious. I struggle a lot with anxiety as well, and also having been shamed for my autistic habits in the past. But I want to improve and start to talk more about my passions and make the content that I want to make. Which still includes animating. Art's been my passion for nearly 10 years now and isn't going anywhere. But I have other things I want to do as well, and that includes more talky videos like this, not even with a particular topic in mind most likely, just whatever I want to discuss. Which might range from talking about the map community to doing videos talking about things relating to my interests, especially Noragami, since it's my special interest, which means I need to tear it apart and overanalyze every character and every plotline and every other little detail, and I'm the only person in existence that doesn't want it to get a third season. Should I make a video on that? I'm gonna make a video on that. Anyways, I want to be cringe on me and basically talk about the shit that makes me happy, even if no one else cares. This is something I would have done with my channel a lot sooner. It's been in my mind for at least a year now, but if it weren't obvious by my lack of uploads through 2022 and 2023, I just had way too much going on in my life. I started this channel when I was 14, right before COVID hit, and while passion was a big part of it, the map animator community is what got me to start drawing in the first place way back in 2014, but working on videos was also serving as a distraction from the things going on in my real life, especially because of school. So when COVID started, school going online was a good opportunity for me to completely drop out, which was the right choice for me. It's not something I regret doing whatsoever. And I focused entirely on art and animating throughout 2020 and most of 2021, since at the time it was what made me happy. It was what everyone else I know was doing, since there was nothing better to do during quarantine. But a lot of things, especially burnout and my mental health declining again as a result, led me to kind of leave YouTube behind and focus on other things. I'm still working on getting better, but even in a few months of recovery, I'm doing better now than I have been in pretty much my entire life. And I'm happy, not just to have the motivation to do what makes me happy back, but to feel like a person again as well. Unfortunately, I'm no longer a shut-in high school dropout with way too much free time on his plate. I'm now an unemployed adult with slightly less free time on his plate who likes to touch grass. I don't plan on staying unemployed for long though, which is going to restrict my free time even further in the future. But I'm already trying to space out what I work on as a means to prevent burnout, so hopefully it won't affect me too badly. On that note though, even though I'm planning to be more active on YouTube, I'm currently very focused on a story I've started working on, so my focus is quite split. To the surprise of probably nobody, this story is a Noragami OC story, or stories I guess. There's one main story and then a side story I got very distracted by. All the characters in the side story are in the main story too. They're just for the most part irrelevant. This is the issue with always being a fan of the side characters. You become a fan of your own side characters. But anyway, they've completely taken up my brain in barely a month, and they're filling the void left in my heart now that Noragami is finished. I'm currently thinking that I might possibly make a webcomic about them in the future, but if you happen to be curious about this, just know this is strictly a possibility for likely years in the future, and I have way too much other stuff to be worrying about right now, but I'd still love to do it someday. But there will most definitely be some OC content coming this channel's way in one way or another. I'm probably the only person who will ever give a shit about these OCs of a manga that no one's cared about in 10 years, drawn near exclusively as cats, but that's okay. They exist purely to make me happy and also to be my little subjects of torture. I'm cringe and also my own biggest fan, and I hope I can inspire others to do the same just as my inspirations have done for me. And also I need to spread my propaganda. This is me telling you to read Noragami. It's the best and worst thing that's ever happened to me. Anyways, wow, I rambled here way more than I meant to. I wanted to leave this off by saying that if anyone has any advice or criticism or ideas for these kinds of videos with commentary, it'd be awesome if you left a comment. I'm always open to that sort of thing, and I'd love to hear others' thoughts on what I do. I'm going to be prioritizing the things that I believe are right for me in terms of content, but in terms of how I could improve or change the videos themselves, especially in regards to my speaking, I appreciate anything as this is something I'm very new to and my presentation skills are non-existent. I'm also wondering if I should make a side channel for these kinds of videos so they're easy to distinguish from my animations. My worry with that is that I already have a bit of community here, and while I'm not after views or subs or anything, I feel like it'd be hard to transition with something like that, especially with how small of a channel I already am to begin with. I don't really know how many people would even be interested, so I'd love to hear any input on that as well, as I'm really not sure what I want to do yet. I'm really just figuring things out as I go, and any help along the way would very much be appreciated. But anyways, I think I've been yapping for long enough, and hopefully I cut it down enough to be able to fit it in the time-lapse. I'm not sure how long this voiceover is going to be just yet. If there's any of the time-lapse left, I hope you enjoy the rest of it.